So today with us on Stool Talk, we're honored. We have some special guests on here today. I've actually been ready, anticipating this episode. We're going to talk about just walking in our purpose on purpose. That's what we do on Stool Talk. And today's guest is definitely doing that. Great student athlete. I mean, these young ladies are definitely hardworking, great team players. I hear so much about them and just how much they bring to the team and how much students of the game they actually are and the extra hard work they put in. And we have a coach, a dad, a supporter on here as well too. So we're going to have a ball today. Hope you guys enjoy. So we're going to have them introduce themselves. So who do we have with us joining us today?
You want me to go? Okay. My name is Coach John Badiuk. I have been coaching in Sylvania for probably the better part of 10 to 15 years now. My kids growing up, obviously all the kids in their grades that have played football, basketball, baseball, softball, and just really enjoy just the opportunity to be able to kind of pay it forward, with what I learned growing up and give that forward to the younger kids.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Izzy. I'm going into 8th grade. And
What position you play?
I usually play point guard.
Okay.
Good, Reagan.
My name's Reagan. I'm going into 8th grade at McCord, and I can play like whatever position.
My name's Kailey. I'm going into 8th grade at Toledo Christian, and I play guard.
Okay. So starting with Izzy, how old were you when you first started playing basketball?
I think I was in kindergarten, so probably like 6 or 7, I'd say.
Yeah. What do you love about basketball?
I just love how competitive it is and just how much fun I get to have just out on the court.
Yeah. What about you, Reagan?
I was in 4th grade when I started playing, and I just like being part of a team and having that bond with people.
Yeah.
I was in 3rd or 4th grade when I started playing, and I love making new friends all like over.
Yeah. And Coach, what about you? How long have you been coaching, and what got you into coaching? Was it your kids? Did you have a love for it? Did you play sports and decide to start coaching after that?
Yeah, I grew up playing sports, all through my youth into high school, 3-sport athlete in high school. And just, I was always in love with sports, just in general, being competitive, obviously great exercise. From a physical standpoint. And obviously when you have kids, you kind of want to, you really want to pay that forward. You want to take your experience and hopefully instill that into them. And I just love seeing, our younger kids into middle school now. I love to see their journey, their growth, from, being, kindergartners, 1st graders out there, can't dribble, shooting on an 8-foot hoop to playing at Run for the Roses. That's fulfilling for me to see that journey.
Yeah, and shout out John as well, your son. We interviewed him. We're gonna have him back on too recently. We talked to him and he just told us how much you have poured into him and just how much knowledge and information that you have gave him. So that is good to see that you're pouring into him, because a lot of times people, when it's coming close to you, somebody that been a part of the sport, whether it's a parent or related to, sometimes as young players, you don't really listen. You don't really, understand what they're trying to say, but he really gets it. And you have just poured so much and made a tremendous impact inside him. So me getting to see you, getting to meet you and getting to hear your story is something else to me, because I heard a lot from him just from what you poured into it. So continue to do that. And I know your team is getting the same as well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And same for whether it's boys or girls sports, whatever we can do to make them, better young people in general, young athletes, inside and outside the community. That's really the goal for all of this. It's not, championships and scholarships and all that. If you work hard enough and you kind of set your mind to what you want to do, those things kind of naturally happen for you if you're willing to do the work.
Yeah. So, Izzy, starting with you, how can you describe your AAU season this year? How was it from us? How was your experience? How did it go for you?
I thought it went really well. I think I grew a lot as a player, and like I did get through some adversity. Like I switched teams, and that was kind of scary because like meeting just a brand new team midway through the season was kind of hard. But like it taught me a lot of things, and I really just think I grew as a person and a player. So it was really
Yeah.
great.
What did you use to help you adjust? Was it your family? Was it your coach or teammates? Or what things helped you to make the adjustment?
I think my teammates, they just made me feel like super comfortable right off the bat. And then obviously my family, like they really helped me through all the tough times or like whenever I was nervous or anything.
Yeah. So what would you say to a young player that might be looking to make that transition to go to a new school, a new team, and maybe feeling like they don't know or shy or something? What would you say to them?
I would just say put yourself out there and just show them who you are because like they're gonna like you no matter what. And I think like obviously like you might be scared, but like there's no need for that because all your teammates or your classmates or whatever, they're gonna support you.
Yeah. Reagan, what about you? How would you describe your AAU season or how did it go for you?
I had a pretty good AAU season. I was on a team. My dad was the coach, and it was just some of my friends from around the area. So it was pretty chill. I feel like I got a lot better during that time though,
Yeah.
and it was good.
So to someone looking to play AAU that might not play last year but looking to play this next summer that's coming up, what would you say to that young player?
Definitely do it. The off season is the best time to get better, and you have to keep working.
Yeah. What about you, Kailey? How was your AAU time, your AAU experience?
It was really good. We had a few struggles like during the middle of the season, and but once we started working together, it helped us out a lot, especially when we went to Run for the Roses.
Yeah. So when you hit that struggle, what did you do to stay focused and stay locked in and not just give up or not just say, man, I'm struggling and allow that to take over?
Kind of just talk to my teammates and understand each other and work together while we were playing.
Yeah. What would you say to a younger player? How important is it to talk to your teammates and communicate?
It's really important because if you don't, it's like you don't have any communication. Like if you pass the ball and you don't have any communication or just any time during the game, it's really important to make sure everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah. And for you, coach, how would you describe your coaching philosophy and how do you ensure that it resonates with your players?
My philosophy really has always been I want to make sure that each individual player is treated with respect. Each individual player is kind of shown a kindness and a caring. I know that there's a lot of coaches out there in all different sports. Some can be a little bit old school. You get some of the screamers and the yellers. And I think that, obviously this day and age too, I think that when you treat kids especially with kindness and you explain things to them instead of maybe lashing out a little bit, I think they get it and they take it and they're willing to do whatever if they trust you, as a coach. I think that your players are way more likely to perform, to go that extra mile for you, to put in the extra work because they want to get better and they care about their coach and their team, and that just pushes them forward.
Yeah, what would you say to a young coach that may be coaching AAU with multiple personalities, different young ladies or different young men for different school and trying to get them together to work together? What would you say to him to help him to be able to do that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is creating relationships. You're always going to have different personalities, especially when you start to get into higher level athletics. You're always going to have big personalities because most of the best athletes out there are, they're kind of the alphas, right? Whether it's their school team or their neighborhood or whatever, they are the alphas. And so when you try to bring that group together, everyone's got to be on the same page. And the first way to do that, like I said, is creating relationships, recognizing that everybody is an individual player and person, and try to get to the core of what makes those players tick. Maybe somebody needs a lot more, positive reinforcement than others. Maybe some just like a straightforward talk to talk. And once you get to that point with your players and develop those relationships, the sky's kind of the limit, really.
Yeah. Izzy, can you tell us a memorable moment that you had this AAU season?
I think like a full memorable moment was probably just the Run for the Roses tournament because it was just like a really great experience. It's like great for exposure and all of that, and there's some really great teams, and we ended up coming in first in the gold bracket. So I think that's definitely a memorable moment, and like we really had to push through to get to that spot. So it's really great.
Yeah. What would you say to a young player about the difference between AAU and your school team? What is the difference in your opinion?
It's definitely like a big difference. Like in AU, I mean, like everyone is very experienced and like it's definitely a lot more competitive. But then school based, like you're gonna have some girls that maybe like aren't as experienced. So you really need to like step up and like be a leader for those people that really are kind of new to the game.
Yeah, yeah, I liked it. That was good. Reagan, what about you? What's a memorable moment, a memorable play that you had during this AAU season?
We won one of our tournaments, and it was just like completely different from like all the other games we had played. Like the team just really clicked, and we all played together, and it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, and what did you do to get yourself ready for the AAU, knowing you were playing against different talent, some top-notch talent over the country, over the state, all of that? What did you do to help yourself mentally get prepared, knowing that different teams you go against is going to be top players just like yourself?
A lot of practice, a lot like making myself more confident in my game and helping my teammates do the same.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Kailey?
I would definitely say when we played in the summer league and we hit a lot of buzzer beaters, it just hyped our team up a lot and helped us like play together as a team and just be there for each other.
Yeah. So how can you speak to the youth and the younger players? How important is it finishing to the last second, the last play? Because if you hitting a buzzer beater, that means y'all may be down or it might be tied up, but you're not quitting. You saying we still gonna run this play, we still gonna execute, we gonna get this last shot. So how important is it to play to the last second?
You gotta make sure you just don't give up your entire game until the clock runs out because you never know what could happen and you can make those game-winning shots and it could help your team a lot just by not getting down on yourself.
Yeah, and we seen that in the Olympics for the men and the women. It went down to the buzzer for both of them barely. So, Coach, what about you? What's a memorable moment you had this year that stands out? And secondly, what was a time where you was coaching, you were teaching a player something, and they finally got it, and you was able to see it?
As far as memorable, I mean, really for me, it's not so much one individual game. Like it is really cool to see the girls succeed and to win, tournaments or get trophies. For me, I just like to see all of the girls that I've known, since first, second, third grade out there competing, whether it's on our team or another team, seeing them play against each other, seeing them interact in between games. Because really, at the end of the day, for us, my philosophy has always been that we do this to create the relationships and the friendships. And if yes, we're rival schools, or yes, we're rival AAU teams, but at the end of the day, like we can still be best friends. We can have lifelong relationships through sports, and that's probably the most memorable for me. And as far as I'm sorry, what was the second question? Sorry.
When was a memorable time? And then when you told a player something, you taught them technique, or you was telling the player do this, do that, and you seen that they finally got it, and they told you like, Coach, what you said worked.
Yeah, I think the biggest that I see in that is in our school based. So like as he was saying, sometimes in school based you have a wide variety of differing skill level, competitiveness, all those things where you have some girls that have never really played before on a team. The biggest thing for me is even when they just grasp some of the fundamentals, and when you see them take that from a practice where you see girls show up in open gyms before the season starts and they are terrified to walk on the court because they know they've never done this before. They're going to be in real games against real competition, and you have high-level AAU girls scattered throughout the league, right? So they got to play against them. And then when they get in the game and they realize and have the confidence to do it, it's like the light comes on, right? And everything is okay. And when I see that in any player, whatever level they are, I think that's probably the most fulfilling thing for me.
Yeah. Izzy, what does hard work mean to you?
I think that hard work just means like every day, like you're grinding, you're putting in the work, like, and you never really give up, like, cause like you could work really hard, but then one day, like, you just give up, and then like, what's that for? But like, if you keep going and like always persevere, then that really shows like your hard work and your grit.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of practice?
My favorite part of practice is probably getting to do all like the detail drills that like really differentiate like your game. Like just
Yeah.
maybe like a shooting drill that like maybe like some of the people don't want to do. It's maybe a little boring, but like at the end, like it's gonna really just change your game.
Yeah. And what type of point guard do you think you are? A scoring point guard, a facilitator, or both?
I definitely think I share the ball more than I take shots, but it always like makes me so happy. Like if I make a good pass and then my teammate scores, like that's one of my favorite moments about the game. So I definitely say I'm more of like a sharer.
Yeah. Reagan, what about you? What does hard work mean to you?
To me, it's showing up to those 8 a.m. practices on winter break and just making sure you give all that effort and not making excuses for why you're not playing good, like just putting in like 100% effort all the time.
Yeah, and with you being a multi-purpose player that can play a lot of different positions, what
Mhm.
would you say that is your strength? Can you slash, get to the basket real good, or you hit the open jump shots, or both?
I'm pretty good at getting to the basket and driving and trying to finish inside.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Kailey? What does hard work mean to you?
To me, I feel like being disciplined is a big part of it, and if you just try your best and put as much work as you can possibly put into it.
Yeah. And what type of player would you say you consist of? If I got Kailey on my team, what are you bringing to the table? What's some of your strengths?
I definitely can shoot. I shoot a lot, and then I just have to make myself more confident in shooting because sometimes I'm not as confident as I should be, but that's something I'm working on.
Yeah, yeah. And what would you say to a younger player that might have those same struggles with confidence or shooting the ball?
Just take the shots because if you don't take them, you're going to miss them either way. So just make sure you're taking the shots. Even if you miss it, you can just try again and one will go in eventually.
Yeah, yeah. And coach, what strategies do you use to prepare your team mentally and physically for important games?
I really try to emphasize that every game, yes, there are going to be more important games when you look at bracket play. We really try to approach every game like it's going to be about the same. Because I think, especially with younger kids, you can get into a mindset of recognizing that the team you are playing is really good, and that creates a level of anxiety within the team. If we can get past that point and be kind of a calming factor to our players, everybody plays that much better when they're not thinking about, oh, I can't make any mistakes. And that's the biggest thing I stress to them is as long as you're going 100% on the court or the field or whatever, I'm good with whatever happens, whatever the results are. I try to stress not being tight, trying not to play with that anxiety on the court, and just sports are supposed to be fun. So go out there, have fun, laugh a little bit, smile. You miss a shot, you miss a shot. It is what it is. But be sure, like Kailey said, that you're ready to take the next shot because it's going to come no matter what. So,
And what do you do? I asked this question because with us doing the AAU, finale before the going into the season, what do you do with your players to make sure that they gain all of the positive things that you have taught them and that they learn AAU season for they can take it back and they don't go back with the negatives or they don't go back with the bad plays and bad things that they, was taught out of, like that you when they first started, you may have coached them out of turning over the ball. So you want to have them to have those good habits. What do you do to keep them focused as they're going to their team, being that it's going to be different? Like Izzy said, different players, and you might be the best player on your school team, but when you go to the AAU, it's more people. So, you need to incorporate what you learn to your team. So how do you do that?
Yeah, I think that it's just open communication. Like I said, once you've developed the relationships and you're able to communicate with each individual player, it makes it a lot easier because I can recognize in my players, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, what they need to work on. So really during the course of a season, we really try to highlight those things that they are really, really good at and that they can improve upon, but then the things that they're lacking on. And the biggest thing I think that at the end of the day, what I always usually try to share with each player is that when they do step back into their school-based team, they are looked at, whether or not they want to be, they are looked at in a different kind of light because every kid in that school recognizes that player and says, well, they're really good, So at that point in time, you got to be a leader. And as long as, regardless of what your performance is in games and what kind of pressure is on you, if you can lead and if you can motivate, your teammates on a school-based team, I think that at the end of the day, you're successful no matter what your record is. So that's the biggest thing is just showing that leadership, being vocal if you have to be, and just when I watch them play on their school-based teams and get to sit in the stands, those are the things that I love is when I see somebody out there carrying themselves that way.
Yeah, and I just love hearing the interviews where, Timberstone may go against McCord, they may go against Auburn Hills, and then all the battles, and then if it be for the championship, but they all love each other and got good, they good team players, but they still want to win. So, that's the stories I like to hear. Izzy, what players do you pattern your game after, or what players do you look up to?
For a player that I just really look up to, it's definitely Caitlin Clark. I just think she's an amazing person and a player, which I think is definitely very vital. And I just love watching her game and the confidence she carries with her. But it's not she's too cocky, but it's just the perfect amount. And I love watching her shooting and how she can really just do it all.
Yeah. And what will be your goals going back into your school year with your team? What is your goals individually and team wise?
Team-wise, definitely to be more of a vocal leader, and if someone's struggling, pick them up and really help them. And then for myself, I just really want to work on just getting to the basket more, and also definitely my attitude. Just being more confident with myself and not getting down on myself if I mess up or I'm having a bad game, and if I am having a bad game, kind of reset and just know that it's all going to be okay.
Yeah. What about you, Reagan? Who you pattern your game after, or who you look up to?
I kind of like to make my game my own. I take little bits and pieces from different players. I don't, there's not really one player who I like to follow.
Yeah. And during the school year, when that comes, what would you take that you learned to help you during this season to make you to be that leader that you can be and the leader that they're going to need you to be?
I'm just going to try and be a good teammate and help them without being too bossy about it, just trying to share things nicely.
Yeah. And what about you, Kailey?
I don't really like Reagan said, I don't really have anyone I really look up to, but someone I like watching is my older brother. I can ask if I ever need help with something, I can always ask him and play like him if I really play better than him.
Yeah, yeah. And when you go back to your team, what are you looking to bring towards your team coming from, you learning this year, you getting better with AAU. What do you hope to bring to your team?
I hope that I can be a leader vocally and physically, just making sure my teammates, if they don't understand something, I can always help them, and if they need help with literally anything. I can always be there out of basketball and in basketball.
Yeah. Izzy, what's going to be your school rival this year? A big game coming up.
Probably McCord since they're like our like Sylvania rival,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, we don't talk to Reagan during the season.
Oh, so Reagan, who y'all team? Who y'all looking forward to rival? Is it the same? It's gonna be
Yeah, Silverstone.
What about you, Kailey? Who you looking forward to play? Who is your rival?
We don't really have a rival right now. I mean, our team is doing pretty good, and we should win all of our games this year.
Oh, going undefeated. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Coach, what are your goals for this season coming up? Are you gonna be coaching during the season? Or even as a dad, are you gonna be coaching?
Yeah, I'll be coaching our 8th grade Timberstone girls team.
Okay.
My goals kind of remain. Well, I should say, I want to push myself forward in terms of really how I coach my daughter. Last year I put a lot of pressure on her, obviously being a dad and having her be the player. And I know that's hard on kids with parent coaches. And I think we did a really nice job about halfway through the season of kind of like sitting down and really having open conversations about how that makes her feel, how that makes me feel. And just opening that line of communication. I want to push that forward to the point where, maybe we just look at each other and she recognizes kind of what I'm thinking and I know what she's thinking. And then we just move on from there, from an individual standpoint. And obviously from a team standpoint, we won our first 5 games last year, and then we lost our next 7. So I wanted a team that we can be a little bit more consistent with as far as going through the rest of the season and finishing out the season with some more wins than we had last year.
Yeah, Izzy, for young players that's playing that gets coached by a parent or someone close to them, what would you say to help them to be able to listen and understand and be able to deal with that? Because let's face it, a lot of people get coached by their parents, but if your parent is telling you to do something, like how do you separate that dad coach? Like, can you explain that to a younger player?
Like I really think you just need to look at like your parent like as the coach and like kind of just pretend like maybe you don't even know him. So because like sometimes I can get caught like disrespecting him, and I know I'd never do that to a coach that's not my dad. So I just say like really just view him as like someone you don't really know, and like when you're playing basketball, like he's not your parent, he's your coach. So yeah.
Yeah. And Reagan, for you, how do you maintain your focus and don't get complacent? When I say complacent, knowing that you're putting in the hard work, knowing that you'll reach this level of greatness so far, how do you keep to where you keep on pushing and you just don't stay where you at, so you keep on growing?
Just like every game, like I just try and like find something I didn't do as well and try and keep getting better at that thing so that I can keep getting better overall as a player.
Yeah. And Kailey, what do you do to help you stay motivated and stay focused? And what will you do this year, knowing that you guys got a great team and y'all gonna be the 100? They're gonna be coming after you. So what would you do? What mindset would you have? Knowing that that's gonna happen, because people trying to get y'all a loss in that column for y'all don't go undefeated. So what would you do?
For me personally, I'm thinking like you have to think about all the training and work that you put in and just apply it in your game and be confident in yourself. And for the team, we just have, like I said, work together and be vocal on the court.
Yeah. Izzy, is it anything that you like to do besides basketball? Any hidden talents? Any things that you like to do for fun?
I really like playing volleyball and softball, and then like just on the side, like on a not so competitive side, I kind of just like hanging out with my friends and stuff.
Yeah, and how do you balance that with playing AAU, playing during the season, maintain, because all you guys are great student athletes, maintaining your grades? How do you balance that?
I just always need to think like school comes first. So like during my school day, like maybe I have a game afterwards, but I need to focus on my schoolwork right now. And then after school, like I can get in kind of like my game mode. But like I just think like always like school should come first, and you really just need to be super eager to get those good grades because it can really help you in the future. Like if you want to apply to a college and play basketball there, then you need to have the good grades to do it.
Yeah, and will y'all practice be done on Fridays? Because we need you out there to go, cheer for the Cougars. John needs you to be out there cheering for him. Or what do you be saying? Do you cheer for him? Do you be or do he allow you to do that? Or he be like, go on.
Yeah, he always sometimes on Fridays we don't even have practice. And then sometimes afterwards we all go as a team to go support the Cougars.
Yeah. Right. What about you?
She was a big Michael Bay's fan last year.
Oh, I'm trying to get him on. He won't respond back. I got Coach Springs and Coach TJ going to try to help me get in touch with him too, because he got a story too, and I hope that he be able to play and then get moved up and be able to go to somewhere even eventually let it still happen because he's a great talent.
For sure.
Yeah. What about you, Reagan? What about you? You got anything that you like to do for fun? Any talents?
I like art. I do a lot of like painting and things. I also, like Izzy said, like hang out with my friends and all that.
Yeah. How do you balance that with schoolwork?
School's got to come first.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Kailey?
Same as Izzy. I hang out with my friends and play volleyball, and I can cook.
Oh, okay. This is for all three ladies. After a big win, where are y'all wanting to go get something to eat, or what do y'all want to get to eat after a big win?
Weird. My favorite sushi restaurant.
Oh, okay. What about you, Reagan?
Probably Canes.
Canes, okay.
Probably Chick-fil-A or Chipotle.
Yeah. Coach, what legacy do you hope to leave behind? Like when they talk about Coach John, what would you want your legacy to be as far as your impact and what you have done coaching and pouring into the young ladies?
I think at the end of the day, just that somebody cared enough to put the time in to help them along the way, in their story, and really for them, whatever their goals are, whatever they want to get to someday. Every player I've had, I see as a coach someday. They're all very, very knowledgeable. They're all very well spoken. They all understand the game very well. So I think that, I see my legacy as the future, generation of coaches and players and them paying it forward to, either their kids or young athletes when they get to that age too, that they're able to coach. So,
yeah. Izzy, whatever comes to your heart, can you speak something positive to the youth?
I just say, always keep working, just never give up. And like if you're in a rough time, like you're gonna get out of it and just always keep persevering.
Yeah. What about you, Reagan?
As someone who's gotten cut from a team, like you just can't give up. Things like that should just push you to like work harder and keep playing.
Kailey?
Be disciplined and keep your confidence up.
Yeah. So when you said you got cut from a team?
Yeah, 5th grade.
Oh,
yeah.
So how did that feel, and how did you, deal with that? Did you work harder? Did you just okay?
I would have never gotten to like where I am if I hadn't gotten cut. That pushed me to work a lot harder.
Wow. What about you, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, you want me to answer her question? After
no. Say something positive to the youth.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I think that, first and foremost, your academics is what needs to be focused on. If you are successful in the school, you're going to be successful anywhere. And then just recognizing that, if you do want to play athletics and if you do want to be great, that you're going to have to put the hard work in. At the end of the day, the best players I've ever seen, whether they're professional players or college players, are the ones that are willing to really put forth the extra effort and the time in. Practices are usually an hour and a half a day, a couple days a week. If you're not playing every single day on your own and getting better on your own, you probably aren't going to get to where you think you could be. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Izzy, do you look forward to playing high school basketball, and then are you going to be going to college to play basketball in the future?
Yes, I definitely look forward to playing in high school because I already have made some really great relationships with some people that are in high school right now. And I hope that I can play in college, but we'll see where
Yeah. How important is it to finish this year strong before you head into being a freshman?
It's definitely very important. I just definitely need to keep my grades up and just keep persisting because freshman's definitely going to be a very different environment and everything for me.
Yeah. What about you, Reagan?
I'm definitely excited to play in high school. I've played a little bit with the JV, so it'll be cool to already know some of the people. But yeah, I'm definitely excited about that.
Okay. And what would you use to motivate you to keep you focused before you can reach that goal and ending strong this year?
I mean, you just gotta you always feel good after you when you start to see the improvements, and that'll help me keep getting better.
Yeah. What about you, Kailey?
I'm excited to play high school. I have a lot of good relationships in high school too right now, and just really excited to play next year.
Yeah. Do you think do you want to? Have you even thought about playing college ball?
I've thought about it, yeah. I hope to play, but we'll see how it works out.
Okay. Reagan, you play for Timberstone?
McCord.
Okay. McCord. So who played for Toledo Christian? You, Kailey?
Yeah.
So would you be going to that high school?
Yes, sir.
So do Kendall Teamer play for y'all? Notre Dame? Okay,
She
Notre
goes
Dame.
to Notre Dame.
Okay, all right. That's why I said it's going to be so much competition. It's going to be so many great players. And the reason why I asked all you guys about just your aspirations and, what you guys want to do, because you guys are great players and you guys have the ability to be able to be that person that the kids are going to be able to look up to and see y'all in high school playing at a high level to eventually playing in college. And I just wanted to say to y'all that we're spotlighting you for your hard work on the court and off the court and just the great players you are, great team players that you are, and wanting you guys' journey to be looked at because of what the great things that you will still eventually be able to do, because greatness is all on this live right now, even with Coach. So we just thank y'all for this time, this opportunity. I pray all y'all continue to be great. Don't be scared. Don't be fearful. Play y'all game like y'all are taught, like y'all know how to play. When that shot come, Kailey, you going to be ready to knock it down and hit it, because big players step up and make big plays. And I believe that all you guys are going to be able to do that. So we're going to be following y'all. We're going to get another interview before the season start just to share y'all journey and allow y'all growth to be amazing. I'm proud of y'all, even from looking on and just hearing from all these other coaches about y'all, because it ain't just I'm hearing it from Coach. I'm hearing it from multiple players. So then when I'm able to, oh, she gonna be on here? Yeah, I heard about her. I seen her play, just to watch, to see y'all growth. It's amazing. So, continue to keep doing what y'all doing. And sky is the limit for all y'all. And the same for you, Coach. Like I said, even from the time or what your coach of your son said to me, just about you pouring into him and just hearing about you, even with your coaching as well. So I just appreciate this, and I thank all of y'all for this time and this opportunity.
Yeah, and I mean, I can tell you that what you're doing for young athletes is amazing. Everybody thinks that they can't speak in public or they can't get on an interview at a young age, and then when you get them on your program, you can see them open up and have that confidence, and that's so important for these kids to see that they can do that. They can speak to somebody. They can speak to an adult, right? So just keep doing your thing, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, because what y'all going to play in high school, after y'all hit them game winners and them good buckets and y'all got 20 points, them reporters coming on there, they ain't gonna say we got to interview Friday. They gonna say, Izzy, so how did you Reagan, what did you Kailey? Like they gonna have that mic ready. But so
Yep.
this is prepping you guys and just getting you guys ready. So, I appreciate it. And like I said, greatness is all on this call. And Northwest Ohio need to be on prepared because when y'all hit high school, it's gonna be on. As long as y'all continue to work, especially you, Izzy. All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
For having
Thank
us.
you.
Thanks.